Chairman, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. It's a hard act to follow, so it's a really good speech. What I'm going to talk about is triple R plus one. I take it you all have in inkling what it's about. It's about recycling modern cars. And most of us probably one time, twice, three times heard the aphorism, the more things change, the more they stay the same. I've heard that many, many times, and I even remember when I was a preschooler, a long time ago, and I visited grandmother, which we all have been doing probably, and the best day was when the rag man came. He came once a week, once every second week, had a little cart like the little red wagon the children have now, and he was just screaming out on the street, like a street vendor, that he was collecting rags and the bottles and whatever else people didn't need anymore. It was his way of supporting himself and possibly his children if he had any. And when we think about it, it's not much different now. You drive around and you see people on the bicycle coming and collecting all the tins and cans from the ditches. You know, it's just something that really never changes. On my moves around the globe, I have encountered very many different ways of recycling. People made sandals out of old tires, and I think some of you may have seen them somewhere. One place I lived, they made cooking pots out of a downed airplane. I still have one of those. And sometimes it wasn't all that fun, but we moved to one place and were assigned a house which was, well, by our current standards, not so great, but was a good house. However, in the entire country, I don't think they had a single roll of toilet paper. Luckily, the former people in that house, they had left a lot of pocketbooks, which nobody could read. It was in a different language. It wasn't as funny as it sounds now. It really, really wasn't. When I had my first solo exhibition at the Maple Ridge Art Gallery, the people working at the art gallery had no clue what triple R meant. Do you, my listener? Reuse, reduce, and recycle. And now, 15 years later, we all know about it, but I don't think we do enough. I have been accused over the year of being stingy and whatever. I use everything twice, which is an example. All the mince ties are inside here. They're collected from my neighbors in Wonderland. I collected all these labels from the clothes we bought over the years. And it just shows us we don't have to go and keep on buying things. We can reuse many, many, many things. Now, some 15 years later, we all know a lot about recycling, and we probably do it. Personally, I don't think we do enough, because we still fill our houses with stuff we don't need, and then we buy garbage bags in order to throw them out. That's what we do, the big black bags, right? So it's just not right. So we generate too much junk and pollute our earth. And I just, like I said, I reuse things, I reduce, I will not buy anything that is packaged, because I carry it home and throw it out. You know, all the boxes. And then to finally show you what I really think is important, allow me to show you these plastic things, tubes, which we never can empty without cutting them off. And all that's left inside, like this one, we cut it off tomorrow, winds up in the landfills and pollutes our reserves, our animals, whatever is there. So what I do, I buy the tube because I can, the content, I can empty it completely, I can wash it before I recycle it. And the same goes for the toothpaste. And of course I have pretty old hands, I really have to push it up so things go out. And I feel it is really what we need to do. So last night, as it usually happens when I have a speech, last night there was a program on TV about Tim Hortons. Did anybody see that with the millions of paper cups? And even if people go back to Tim Hortons and get a second coffee, they still get a second empty cup so that they can go the cup. So we are really a wasteful society. And I am not ashamed that I save things, because it saves my money too, right? It's not just that. And then when I had my second solo show in New Westminster at the gallery, I had triple R, reuse, reduce, recycle. Any idea what the last one was? Rejoice. Because I try my things in cleaning and I save my money too. Thank you.
Thank you, Inta. Yeah, the scourge of packaging. I don't know what to do about that, I guess. But appreciate your encouragement, and we can all be thinking about ways that we can be enacting those 3 R's. So, before we get to our evaluations, Madam Timer, could you give us the times of those speeches?
Yes, Kelsey was 6:25 and Inta 6:32.
Great, thank you. And so,